of his work. Let's take a look.
I am the brain interactive construct. No matter my form, my intellect remains formidable. Do not underestimate me.
So, how was rehab? Hello, cutie. What's up? What's really bad?
Man, Expo Dallas, make some noise for Mr. James Marsters! Hello, you beautiful people. Hey, can I ask you guys a favor? I like to photograph anyone, do a little video of anyone that's dressed in cosplay from any show that I've been on. And then I like to give them a big round of applause at the end of the video, and then I put it on my Facebook. That's where you guys come in, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, if I can just film you, and then when I say action, just raise your arms and go, wow! Okay. Okay, not the cap. Whatever team you want. Should do. Okay, hold on. Ready? Yeah. You guys look so cool. Okay. Action.
I really believe that. That was a good cheer.
Yeah, you guys are like backlit, so it's like total rock concert. It's like, yeah, I'd like to start if I do.
Yeah.
You guys can ask me anything that you want. I haven't been embarrassed for like 35 years. Apparently it's impossible. So I don't promise to answer anything that you ask. But if I don't want to answer it, I'll tell you in a polite way. And then, how many kids do we have in the audience today? We have a few. Yeah. So we can talk about a lot, but let's just use the right words and stuff like that. Okay. Cool. What's up?
Okay, hi, I'm Steven. What's the deal with dudes and dragons? Like,
You know, I think for me, it's Star Wars, The Godfather, and Dragon Ball would be my 3 favorite films. No lie. Just kidding! Horrible movie! They told me that Stephen Chow was producing that film.
dudes and dragons, not Dragon Ball.
Oh, Dudes and Dragons. Yeah, you know, that was a independent filmmaker who I always have a soft spot in my heart for independent film because I used to produce theater in Chicago and Seattle, and I also believe that film that's made outside the studio system can sometimes be surprising and really wonderful, and you got to kind of support that. Frankly, Star Wars is an independent film. You know, I mean, not the first one, but all of the rest of them are independent film. And so you got to kind of roll the dice. And I really thought the character that they offered me was very interesting. I mean, he's like adorable and pathetic and evil and powerful all at the same time, and insecure all at the same time. And I thought it would be really fun to do. And I had a blast doing it. Yeah, so that's when I went to Utah and filmed the film.
Yeah, the teeth really bothered me though.
Was that?
His teeth really bothered me though.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite things. His awful teeth. And I got on the set and they're like, "Are you sure you want to do the teeth thing?" I'm like, "Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Hi, baby. Yeah. I'm a punk rocker, baby."
Well, since you bring up Dragon Ball, you actually did, James, I don't know if you noticed, but he did a little bit of a cosplay himself the other day and got dressed up in Texas, right? Like, didn't you get donned up in like the Dragon Ball costume and visit Plano, Texas? I swear I saw that. Wasn't it for a Vidiots episode?
Yes.
Oh, that! Yes, sorry. Yes.
Thank you, because I really thought I was having a serious break with reality here. I'm like, this is it. I finally lost it at a con.
I'm friends with the guy who does the directs Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, all of that, Chris Sabat. And we thought it would be funny if we went to his the Funimation studio and tried to convince him to cast me in Dragon Ball, and he was like, no way, no. But we went and did that, because I do a show online called Vidiots, which is about two guys that travel the world and understand nothing. And it's kind of like an idiot abroad. I don't know if you guys know. Yeah, but you get two idiots and not just one. And I'm one of the idiots. And so he had a Vegeta costume just in the lobby. It's like a perfect, somebody sent it to him. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. Can we please use that? And so I put it on, but I had it on for like 5 minutes. I didn't remember.
Seems like something you would remember, though. Apparently not.
My life is weirder than you think. Like, oh yeah.
Thank you for keeping me grounded in reality. Next question.
Hi, I'm Viv. I was wondering if you weren't a part of the Buffy cast, it's early, would you be more leaning towards Buffy and Angel or Buffy and Spike? You can't be partial.
That's a really good question. Wow. If I was just watching and had no investment in it. Wow. Okay, yeah, okay. I think that the show was really clear thematically in the writing that Spike was not ready for Buffy at that time, and that Angel was ready for Buffy at that time, but it was tragic that because of his curse they couldn't be together. And so I always go back to the writing and what does this script want to be, and how well are the actors getting the script out that it wants to be. And so I probably would have come down on Angel, frankly. I think that given enough time, Spike would be the right one. I just think that, like in the comics and as the universe continues, that Spike ultimately learns enough to be worth her, but he just wasn't ready yet. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Question?
Hi there.
Hi. Do you feel like your time on shows like Buffy and Supernatural helped you with voice acting the Dresden Files?
Good question. No. Doing audiobooks is a lot closer to doing stage work, because on stage, your face is like this big, and your eyes are invisible, and you're trying to let people in on the inner workings of your mind. And so stage is really more than anything else, hanging words in the air at the proper rhythm and the proper color. And that's your job as a stage actor, more than anything else. And so it's not that far away from just erasing the body completely and doing an audiobook. So you learn all these tricks and all this technique and stuff, and you have to spend years getting that toolbox. And then when you come to Los Angeles and start doing movies, you have to just leave that at home. Because all of those tricks and all those tools look fake on film. And film, more than anything else, is just kind of being it and allowing someone to document something actually happening for real. And it took me a while to realize that. I think my entrance on Buffy, it's hard to watch because I'm so stagey that it's so actory, you know. And thank God it was like a vampire character, because it kind of works, but you would there. So really when I go between film and stage or reading books, it's like walking through a different door completely. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Howdy.
Hello.
I'm actually asking a question from my nephew, who is a huge Dresden fan. And I got into bad trouble when I didn't ask you this question already when I was in line. Would you be willing to voice Dresden if they ever did an animated series?
Heck yes. But which one? I'd have to pick which one I would voice out of them all.
You have to be Dresden.
They would
You
save
are the
money.
voice of Dresden to me.
Yeah, I would absolutely. And I wish I was 6'7" and we could do the movie. But yeah, I would love to do the animated. That would be absolutely
Amazing, just to have an animated series, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that if they tried a TV show out of Dresden, but they just didn't give it the money that it needed.
Yeah.
And you know, that world needs kind of Harry Potter money if you're going to film it. And
All the characters.
yeah,
Not
and
just
if you're not going to give it Harry Potter money, then an animated is the way to go, because you can get all that lift and all of that epic stuff going on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, the TV show was, I think, 12 years ago, and now it's like the kind of thing that would fit perfectly on the HBO, Netflix landscape, where they could put that money into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to watch. You guys would like to see it? I'd like to see it. Hi.
I was wondering, can you sing one verse from your song Rest in Peace from Buffy?
This is where I'm going to be a little bit of a bad cop. And
Won't you rest in peace? Let me get some sleep. Let me take my love and bury it in a hole 6 foot deep. I could lay my body down, but I can't find myself release. Let me rest in peace. It's so easy to make people happy when you put on television. Wow.
hi there.
When I was a waiter, like before I met Joss Whedon, I couldn't have gotten away with that. On the stage.
Hi, my question is, what is your favorite episode in Buffy?
Oh man, to pick one is hard. Oh wow. I think the body.
He wasn't in it.
You know, the body was one that had no laughs in it at all, and I think that it proved that the characters were rounded enough to just be serious and strip away all the vampires and strip away all the magic and the laughs and everything, and just watch a young woman lose her mom. And I was so proud of us at that point. Also, I had the week off. Which, like, we were known as Buffy the Weekend Slayer. We would work 12 to 20 hours a day. So we would start at 4:30 in the morning on Monday, and we'd get out, and the sun rose up in the morning on Saturday morning. And there were a lot of people in Los Angeles that wouldn't work on the show because they knew how long our hours were. And so to get a week off was it was a lifesaver. Some others, man. I think when Tara kissed Willow, I was very proud because I'm a Star Trek fan, and like the original Star Trek, I mean all of the Star Trek, but I'm old, so I'm Kirk and Spock, right? So in that series, we had the first interracial kiss between Uhura and Kirk, and if you ask any Star Trek fan, it's like that's like the high point. It's like, we got that one. And then when Buffy got the first teenage lesbian kiss, I was like, we got our kiss.
Thank
Well, recently you guys just did this photo reunion for Entertainment Weekly, which looks gorgeous. And you all look good still, so like hats off to that. What was sort of the environment at that gathering? Was it surreal? Was it celebratory? Kind of just take us behind the scenes a little bit of that photo.
It was really warm and loving and absolutely fabulous. It was just a group of people who've had enough rest and enough time to kind of appreciate how lucky we all were to have been a part of it. And because when you're doing it, you're all freaking out that you're not doing it well enough. So everyone's just like, oh no, I just gotta go. Hold on. You know, everyone's not happy because we're all worried that we're not good enough all the time. Because when the writing is that good, you're constantly wondering if you're living up to the writing. And so, but we didn't have to do that. Like Josh hadn't written anything for us to say. So we could just like enjoy each other's company. So it was absolutely fabulous for everybody.
Yeah, it looked great. It was a great photo. Hi.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I've been a huge fan of Buffy since I was in high school. When I graduated in 2004. But my question was, out of all the performances and all the characters you've played, which one of them was your favorite?
Spike. Spike was the scariest, most rewarding, most everything. He had a weird journey, that character. You know, like most dramatic arcs in a play or a movie or TV series, it's a nice smooth arc. Like the Angel arc goes from villain, soulless vampire to true hero at the end. And it's a nice smooth arc. And that's normal, like a Shakespearean arc, like any great writer will give you a nice smooth arc. Spike, I remember Joss used to come to my trailer once a year at the beginning of each season and go, James, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do with you this year. I have the arc for the season, I know how all the characters fit into that story, I have nothing, I'm sorry. Like, well, you still gotta pay me, brother, figure it out. And so he would kind of plug me in as needed to facilitate the other arcs for the other characters. And so I started as the disposable villain, and then I was the heartbroken lover, and then I was the wacky neighbor, and then I was the bad boyfriend, and then I was the guinea pig hero, and you know. But the thing is that because the writing was really good, it all stitched together into one journey. But it's a much more surprise. It's more like a roller coaster than a smooth arc. And it meant that I was constantly going, I what? Yeah. What?
It's more like real life.
Yes. Yeah, actually. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, exactly. Like my life. So yeah, Spike. I once told Josh, I was like, you know, if you asked me if I had to play one role, Hamlet or Spike, it would be Spike, because Shakespeare only had 3.5 hours to explore that character. We have 7 years, and you keep delving in. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Hi there.
Hi. First of all, I'm glad to hear you're a Star Trek fan, but I've never heard Dresden Files time. I am a huge fan of you reading those books, and you just did so well. And the one that came out that you didn't read just was not the same. And I want to know if you read any other books. Do any other books?
Yeah. First of all, I'm sorry about Ghost Story. That was maybe the best one.
And you redid it.
But I have read it. You can get it now.
Oh yeah, I have it.
And the problem was I was in Romania doing the cowboy movie, and they called me, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm in Romania. And they said, okay, we'll wait for you. But by the time I got done playing a cowboy, they cast me as an astronaut in Lithuania. So this is why I didn't remember, like, so they said, you know, James, we got to go. And they found a really good actor, and they went ahead. But I'm going to be reading all of them, you know, forever and until either Harry or I are dead. So, yeah. yeah, I do other audiobooks. In fact, I'm flying back. I'm continuing a book tomorrow called Shadow Hunters. And I'm being dropped into the middle of the series, kind of like that actor was dropped into Harry Dresden, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna end up being that guy. So I'm trying really hard, but it's going really well. They're really happy with what we're doing so far. Yeah, and then I did Vampire Empire. There was a 3-book series, and then another 2-book series. I'm not even sure what the name of was.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. Real quick, I have a thing and then I have a question. I wanted to tell you thank you. I have been trying to convince my teenagers to watch Buffy forever, and I had not been able to get them to do it. And when we were getting ready to come to this con, we told my oldest he should dress up as Spike, and he's like, who is that? And so we got him to dress up. He took a photo with you yesterday. But the night before, he spent all night watching YouTube videos of Spike and fell in love. So he's ready to go home and watch Buffy. So thank you. And so my question is, if it were up to you, there have been all of these little mini-series, X-Files has done it in 24. If it was up to you, would you guys do a Buffy reunion mini-series? Would you do it again?
You know, thank God it's not up to me. It's really up to Joss. I mean, look, if Joss thinks of something, it's going to be worth it, right? He's the special sauce, right? It's up to the other actors whether they want to come up with it. But if Joss comes up to it with an idea, I know it'll be good. I'll come on board in a second. But that's got to happen. Like the muse has got to sing.
Well, I know after 20 years it would be really hard to get everybody. I was just curious if you would.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing is, like, what are we going to do with my face? Like, Spike is a vampire. You know?
You haven't changed.
You look great, James. You look great.
Half the budget would be like computer fixing. What did it have to do with Legolas on the Lord of the Rings? It's like cut to Legolas video game. Or, I don't know, cheaper than that would just be having a vamp face like the whole time. I can't get out of this book. But yeah, you know, I mean, if there's a way to do it, there would have to be a good reason. And I've written enough to know that sometimes an idea comes, and sometimes an idea comes. Sometimes an idea doesn't come because there's no good idea to come. Sometimes it's already been said. You know, and if something strikes Joss and there's something he wants to say, then I'd love to be the one to say it. Yeah.
Is there the thought, and I've talked with you guys about this, I've talked with other actors about this, like, we want these things, but sometimes when we go back to that world, it's not as satisfying. Like, it kind of taints some of the magic from the original thing. Like, would that be a concern as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, it would have to be something new.
Yeah.
Like, what needed to be said at that time got said really well. So it would have to be not trying to redo that, but to go a whole different way and say a whole new thing, and it would be its own thing. But I'm not writing that, so.
Yeah.
Cool. He looks like me. No, he doesn't. He looks like me. No, he doesn't. Does he look like Angel? Does he look like Angel?
Okay, so the sitcom spinoff. I'm okay with that.
Hi, I'm really excited to be here and really nervous right now. I'm sure everyone in here is a huge Buffy fan, and my question's kind of silly, but it goes into how much primping went into Spike's look. Like, how often did you have to get your roots touched up? And would you consider going platinum again?
Yeah, you know, that was the one part of the job that wasn't fun, to tell you the truth.
I know.
Yeah, I was supposed to be the Sid Vicious of the vampires, and so Sid had black hair, and that's easy, that just is a dye. And so we had 3 days before we were filming when I got cast. And so they sprayed my hair black, it didn't look so great. And I remember the hair person going, sorry. There's only 2 colors for true punk, bone white or jet black, and like the purple thing, that's glam, and we're not doing that, so we're gonna have to bleach you. And I was like, sure. And I had no idea what that meant. Yeah, and the thing is that a vampire's dead, so the hair doesn't grow, so you can't have any roots at all. So we had to re-bleach every week, or every episode. Yeah, and like on the bottle it says, only do this every 6 to 8 weeks. It's not enough. And so they were like pouring the bleach on top of the wounds from last week. Horrible. But yeah, I mean, it was, pay me, yes. Probably not for Halloween, but yeah, why not? It looks good.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I want to say thank you. You were here a couple of years ago, and I told you about my best friend who actually, a picture of Spike on my phone helped me introduce myself to her. So she's actually here today. She got to come. She's very excited. My question is, what was it like going from Buffy, where you have this established character, to Angel, where you have to introduce yourself to like a whole new cast, except for David?
It was the same show for me. It was the same directors, same editors, same writers, and it was David. I'd already met the cast. You know, we were kind of cross-pollinating anyway. You know, so I didn't really. The only problem was the coffee on Angel sucked. I like coffee, right? And on Buffy we had one of they're ubiquitous now. It's like you put the little thing in, you get a fresh cup of coffee, and it's, you know. But the thing is, if you put coffee on a burner and keep it there for 20 minutes, it goes to acid, and you get a stomachache. Whereas if you don't do that, you can drink coffee all day, you don't get a stomachache. But if you put it on that burner, so I get to Buffy, and they got that burner thing, and I'm like, oh. And then Kelly Manners, the producer, comes up and goes, "We're so glad you're on the show, man. If there's anything that you want to help you out, anything, just name it." And I was like, "Yeah, can we get one of those coffee makers where you just put the thing?" And he's like, "That's it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's coffee." And so they did that, and then the crew was like, "Dude, thank you."
Thank you very much.
I think it's worth mentioning, you know, after doing this show, enormously successful show, and doing so much work after that, I would imagine you have a good eye for spotting projects. And right now, you know, you shot the pilot for Marvel's Runaways, which you can't talk about, I know that. But how...
I could lie about it.
You could lie about it.
That's good. That's always fun.
But when you're looking at something like that, how are you kind of spotting whether or not it looks like a good project, or when you're filming it, you're like, okay, I think this might have legs? What are the little spidey senses that are tingling when you're looking at that?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I mean, I think that, does the script work? As I'm reading it, do I want to turn the pages, or am I looking at the clock, basically?
Yeah.
Is it taking me through a ride? Like, when you watch a movie, are you bored or are you not bored? Like, when you're reading a script, it's like, it should be like watching a movie in your head. It should be as easy as that. And Runaways was definitely that. I mean, I can say, Runaways is about a group of teenagers who discover that their parents are supervillains. And I am not a teenager. And I play the biggest douchebag of all the parents. Oh my God. He is so bad. It's just horrible. Every time he opens his mouth, he's like, "Hi." But he's super smart, and like NASA comes to him to help to help with like things they can't figure out. I remember for the audition, I was like, can I do like a little improv? Because I'm a science fan. I'd like to show off that I know something about science. Can I just be the character? And they're like, yeah, can you make it 1 minute? I'm like, yeah, okay, here we go. So I did my character Victor as if he's coming to work and he's ordering his staff around. And I'm like, all right, good morning, guys. This is what we're doing today. NASA called me. They got a big problem. It's the Mars mission. They have to recycle everything on the Mars mission, from oxygen to food. Everything's got to be closed loop because they can't throw trash out, right? So they've solved everything. Oxygen, they got no problem. Water circulation, they got no problem. But the big problem, getting the water out of poop. Yeah. And if they don't figure this out, we ain't going to Mars. So I want some ideas on my desk. Do not come to me with boiling this stuff. Any caveman can do that. So get something on my desk. The coffee's free today, but if I don't have something on my desk by the morning, someone's fired. Go! And apparently that got me the role. Yeah. And that's actually true. Yeah. That is the problem with the Mars mission, is trying to get water out of that stuff.
Poop problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hi.
Hi, just one thing real quick. Your supernatural cameo with charisma was awesome.
Thank you.
At the end of Angel, I know there were a lot of rumors going on about what was happening and what was causing the abrupt ending. But how did you feel about that, and how did the network come into play with the decisions at the end?
The ending of which show?
Of Angel?
Oh, I knew the secret of that one. I'll tell you. Joss pissed off his boss. Joss made his boss angry one too many times. Like, that's one of the big reasons that Joss's shows are so good, is because he does not always do what he's told. Right? I remember I came into his office one time, he was on the phone, he's like, I don't care what you say, they're kissing. Hi, James, what's up? What was that? He's like, oh, I was talking to the network about the Terra Kiss. What do you want from me? And he feels a great responsibility to the people that work for him. And that's another one of the reasons I love the man. But they had canceled Angel after season 4 in the summertime, at a point where the entire crew would not have a chance to get another job the next year. All the jobs in town had been taken by that point, and all these people, these men and women, have families, and they were going to be unemployed for a year. And he felt horrible. And then he jiggered it so that he brought me on, and we got another season. And the numbers, like a lot of Buffy people came over to Angel, so the numbers like went way up, like by 80%. And he came to his boss mid-season and just goes, "Are you going to cancel me now?" And they told him, they go, "Well, actually, the producer from ER wants to do a Dracula treatment, and we're going to do a pilot for that. And if it's really good, we are going to cancel you. Sorry, but if it's not good, we'll keep you on." And Josh was like, "No, tell me now." And they said, "Well, if we got to tell you now, you're canceled." And he came in like so embarrassed. He was just like, "Guys, I'm so sorry. I pushed it a little too far." But that's what happened. I mean, ironically, the guy from ER, Wells, I think his name is, was really good with George Clooney and scalpels and stuff, but he was terrible at vampires, and it didn't work at all. And we might still be on the air. But yeah, that's one of the things I love about Joss, but that in that case, it turned out to bite us a little bit. Yeah.
We only have time for a couple more questions. Yeah, I know, time's flying. But pop over here.
All right. When did you first learn that Spike would be the ultimate hero in Buffy, and what was your reaction?
Wow. See, I don't agree with you, man. I don't think that. I mean, like, you mean about burning to death with the necklace and everything, with the Liz Taylor thing? I don't think he knew he was gonna burn. I mean, he was like, what? You know, like, I think he was just jealous of Angel and wanted to get the necklace. You know. And I think that, like, a hero sacrifices themselves willingly for the good of others, and I think that Spike was surprised, frankly. So, I don't know if he's a hero. I don't know, it was a really good scene, you know? I thought it was a great line when Buffy's like, "I love you," and Spike is like, "No, you don't, but thanks for saying it." Yeah, because I mean, like, that was the greatest encapsulation for me of that relationship. And like the thing that saves the redeeming quality of Spike at that point is like he finally gets it. He finally gets that he's not ready for her. Like, you can't love someone like me. You pity me. You feel warmth toward me. I am kind of pretty, but you don't love me, man. Love is so much bigger than that. And someone else you love, but me, no, not yet. And so I thought that was kind of beautiful, actually. But like I already knew that I was coming back on Angel at that point, so it wasn't like this big, like, I'm dying for the world. I'm like, yeah, I'll be back.
Hi.
So I know that the end of the Buffy series was a massive climax to the series. And I was just wondering how you felt about that storyline and how it all kind of came together and ended.
Yeah, I think that it was fabulous. I mean, the theme that there can be more than one Slayer, that there's Slayers all around us, just took that theme of the empowerment. I mean, start with women, but really empowering all humans. That we can all do that. I thought it was very deft, and they had enough money to do it, which is really cool. Yeah, I liked it. Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Before I jump to the last question, I actually want to say, you've got an album coming out with your band, right? New album?
Yeah, we're recording.
Yeah, just talk a little bit about that.
Plug in for me, because I'm sleepy. Yeah, Ghost of the Robot, we were just in the Sacramento Delta. We were recording in the Sacramento Delta and the Levee Brook. Is that the blues or what?
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Not for the people living there, but yeah.
But yeah, it's called Parables, which is either pair of bulls or parable, depending on what you want to do with that. And it'll be out in August. And we'll be doing a show in Sacramento to celebrate that. Yeah.
Let's keep an eye out for that. This is going to be the final question.
Hi, I'm Jade. I'm kind of sad I'm not asking a Buffy question since it's the last one, but I just, about 6 months ago, binge-watched Hawaii Five-0, and I wanted to know what your favorite thing about playing Victor Hess was, and like being with the cast and like being in Hawaii.
Yeah, being on Waikiki Beach was not that hard. You wake up and you walk out of your room and they have like the best musicians in all of Hawaii just sprinkled around the resort. Oh my God. Don't cut my throat. I think my favorite part of it was fighting Alex. Because Alex, who plays McGarrett on the show, really cool dude. He is a certified stuntman in Australia. He's in Australia. And I'm a stunt coordinator for stage in America. So they would actually let us fight each other, which normally you don't do. Normally it's a stuntman and an actor for safety's sake. But they let me mix it up with Alex. I remember during the pilot, they didn't yet know that both of us were trained. And we come to the final fight, and they're like, okay guys, don't worry. We're gonna take it real slow, just like 4 moves at a time, say cut, and then we'll just reconnoiter, okay? Very good. Now Alex comes up and goes like, do you have any experience fighting? I'm like, yeah, I got it. And he's like, let's just do the whole thing. Do you know the choreography? I'm like, yeah. And so they said cut, we didn't cut, we just kept. It was all the way up the stairways, we're out, and the camera crew's like, holy! The director's. Yeah, but Alex is a maniac, like all stuntmen. He's a maniac. He, when I came in to do another one in season 2, and he had been doing most of his own stunts for season 1, so he had an injury, as stuntmen do. They never tell you that they have an injury, but they actually do. And he had like a separated shoulder from season 1, and so the director, we were shooting in a prison yard, in a real prison yard, so it was actual concrete. And the gag was McGarrett leaps up and double plants Victor, there's another Victor, in the chest, and they both go flying back, right? And the director's like, all right, Alex, I'm gonna say action, you jump up in the air, and then we cut. And that's all you do, right? And Alex is like, yeah, boss, no problem. And the director turns his back, Alex goes, screw that, man, get ready. And I'm like, dude, I'm not padded in the back, man. Come on. He's like, nope, let's do it. I'm like, action, bam! He hit me hard too, and we just went, and the director's like, but he's about a decade and a half younger than I am, and I remember being back up in my oh so fancy room at the Hilton, and my wife's putting ice packs on me, and I'm just like, I'm so old. But it was awesome. I love that.
Rock on, thank you.
Well, on that note, guys, check out his album on the way. Check out Vidiots.